Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to another episode of Our Band Show. I am your host, Christian Evanko, and we're in for a real treat tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible band from right here in the Hudson Valley called Sound of a Smirk. These guys are absolute veterans. They're going on 13 years of creating amazing and killer music, and we're so excited to bring you just a little taste of what these gentlemen have to offer here tonight. So with that being said, share this video with a friend, sit back and relax, and enjoy the incredible music of Sound of a Smirk live on Our Band Show. Fellas, take it away.
Everywhere that I have been sleepwalking, remembering where I have been keeping my sin. Call it back, leave at least a little self-respect. Hurting your shell, bring back your better times. Remembering where I have been sinking deep in. Remembering where I have been swallowing ocean. Call it back, leave at least a little self-respect. Hurting your shell, bring back your better times now. Sort it out, start it over, your sound. This hurts inside. Better life is ahead. Call it back. Leave at least a little self-respect. Hurting your shell, bring back your better times now.
Absolutely incredible. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, obviously you're going to stick around to the end now, but for those who may have just joined, as I see a few of you have, I'm your host, Christian Evanko. This is Our Band Show, and we are live with Sound of a Smirk. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. It's
Really
our
happy to be here.
pleasure. What a powerful way to start this this night off. I mean, it's only going to go up from here. Trust me, I've heard the songs, and it's pretty good night we have planned for you. So let's just start off with, we've been here all day, guys. We've been working hard, but we're finally doing this thing. We're finally live. How you guys feeling?
Feeling great.
Hot. Great.
Yeah, a little warm.
Excited.
A little warm.
Okay, well that's good. Hot and excited is the way I like my rock and roll. So, no, but for real, guys, Sound of a Smirk, 13 years in the making, only getting better. Talk to me about it.
Oh, God, man. This started as a solo project for so long, and yeah, it's been like 10 years now where it's built into a band, and just every year in 10, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's kind of wild to me. It's
wild to us, too. It's definitely wild to us.
Awesome.
I feel like I've been here forever.
In life?
So yeah, Jesse, let's I do want to kind of get everyone's origin story here because, you know, I've known you for a little while. I like we said earlier, you know, it's kind of like we've always been in the same room and we've had a brief and very nice conversation, but we never had the chance to really sit down and talk. And I've always loved your writing style. I've always felt like I felt like you had a hard time back in the day fitting in on either the true punk shows or the true hardcore shows because you're just so versatile as a songwriter. And I've only seen that dynamic grow here as you went from a solo artist to a band. So why don't you take me from the beginning and we'll work our way up to how each of these amazingly talented musicians around you became a part of the project.
First off, thank you. That means a ton. It's wild because the Hudson Valley has an amazing music scene. The local music is crazy. You hear so many different styles and so many different artists really kind of put themselves out there. And just trying to fit into these little pockets was definitely a little difficult. To me, I've always wanted to turn Sound of a Smirk into a band. That's why it never started as my name or anything of that sort. So even acoustic, it was always a band in a sense. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to kind of put all the influences I love and listen to out on display, and it's so much more of like an emo idea. Like that whole genre is kind of like my bread and butter. So it's been fun. I love these guys as friends and brothers and as musicians. They add so much more than I could ever do myself.
Awesome. So let's talk about some of those influences that originally inspired you when you first kind of set out to start this project.
Yeah. Back when I first started really playing the music that I was playing and doing the acoustic stuff, I had such an idea that Bon Iver was going to be the end goal of it. And then the more that I wrote, I don't write songs like Justin Vernon. So I realized how much I was kind of pushing over that and getting into, bands like Sunny Day Real Estate, who I love, and they're like staples of emo, and bands that I was listening to and seeing live like Manchester Orchestra, and then even solo artists like Kevin Devine, who changed his whole sound and is so versatile in that way where he still plays acoustic, but then he plays Kevin Devine in the goddamn band, and that's all I want. I want to be able to push everything I write with the people who I know will push it further than I ever will.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I've kind of always got that sense when listening to your music, but I do love how you stayed true to that because I feel the scene that we all grew up in, my beloved, and I'm sure your guys' beloved too, Poughkeepsie scene, which I miss with all my heart. But it was very one thing or the other. I felt, you were either a hardcore band, guilty as charged, right, or you're in a punk rock band, also guilty as charged.
Very
and
guilty,
there was a lot of us are. There was like very little crossover, and that's kind of why I sort of said like I felt like you were simultaneously able to play both of those kind of shows that we would quite often see in our local scene, but also kind of always be the one that stands out. And of course, later on, we had good friends of mine like Luciano Ferrara and former, performer of the show, Johnny Manna, kind of come along and bring that acoustic guitar element to the scene. But for a while, man, it was kind of just you, and you definitely stuck to your guns in that regard.
Yeah, I take your word for it. It's hard, hearing that kind of stuff, but I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I played with Johnny and I played with Luke and Tuck, who's in Fit for a King and Off-Road Minivan. We played acoustic shows back in the day, and I played with so many other artists. Frankie and His Fingers, Frank McGinnis, he's amazing, and we played acoustic shows back in the day as well, and it's just amazing to see these acoustic artists or even front men of bands kind of step back and just do what they want and do things a little differently in that case.
Yeah, no, for sure. And something you did differently was later on join and make this thing a full band. You know, you said that was something that you initially always wanted to do, but it took a little while. So let's bring in the rest of the guys here. Who was first to come along, and what made you finally make that decision to, yeah, this is no longer a solo project. I want to be in a band.
That would be me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of
Who are
dragged into this, and I need help getting out. No, it's, in all seriousness, Jesse put out like a post in the Hudson Valley Musicians Forum about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That he needed a drummer, and I was like kind of just screwing around playing Rock Band by myself, like teaching myself how to drum, and I was like, sure, I could do that.
Were you like nailing songs on Expert?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely qualified then.
Yeah.
And you are a killer drummer, so that's
Oh, thank
actually,
you.
if that is how this actually started, that
Is how this started.
I
Yeah.
second
Wow.
that.
Yeah,
That is
it's just
fantastic.
screwing around on Rock Band, and then just someone saying, "Hey, I need a drummer," and I'm thinking for a second, like, I could do that.
And when was this? I know we have a 13-year history here.
This is like about 8 years ago.
8 years ago. You
Yeah.
guys have been in a band together for 8 years.
Yeah, a lot of cast changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely, but you've made it work this whole time.
Yeah.
And were you in any other bands prior, or were you really from the Rock Band kit to the real kit?
As far as drums go, yeah, I used to
okay.
play guitar and a little bit of bass guitar, and I met Brian. Me and him used to just hang out and play in this storage unit, just
Up on
for
Route 9 right
fun.
next to Alto.
Yeah, kind of behind alto music. Yeah,
Was that you guys? I could have sworn no, I'm just kidding. But that
No.
is
yeah.
so that's how Brian got involved. And when was this? What was the time
Oh
frame?
god, that was even longer.
That's
ago.
even more complicated.
That's even more complicated than longer ago.
Okay, so you guys were friends prior
Yeah.
to Nick, you joining Sound of a Smirk, and then basically, what, did Jesse say we need more people? And you were like, I know a guy? Is that kind of...
So that came a lot later. We went through probably about, me and Jesse have had two other,
Two
Three.
bassists.
three other guitarists and two other bassists.
Yep.
In the time frame since I joined.
That's a lot of members.
Yeah.
We don't need everyone's origin story, but I would like to know who came along next in this group that we're hanging out with right now. So we have, obviously, Jesse, right? He is originally just Sound of a Smirk. Nick, you come along. Who joins us next?
That would be me. I'm Brian. Nice to meet you. So I've been friends with Jesse and Nick forever now. It's been a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
Like Nick said, we've been in bands together, started messing around in a storage unit. It was a lot of fun. We kind of grew apart. I was in a pop punk band, like you said, being in the punk scene in Poughkeepsie. And I was like, hey, you still playing bass, Nick? And he goes, yeah, I am. So he played in that for a little while. And then Sound of a Smirk went through another lineup change, and one member couldn't be there. So Jesse was like, hey, you still play guitar, right? Want to play a show for us in like a week?
Wow.
That is not a joke.
That's
That is
not a
That's
quick
not a joke.
turnaround
That
time.
is,
I learned a couple songs in a couple days, and we played outside at a punk rock flea market out in Connecticut, and that was wild. That was a good time. And then I filled in for a couple more shows, like here and there. And we played a punk rock prom, also out in Connecticut at the Space.
You've been playing with us for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Punk Rock Prom is my favorite Bowling for Soup B-side. I'm sorry, though. Continue.
Well, funny enough, I was still filling in at that point because the bass player and guitar player were MIA. So Jesse was playing bass, I was playing guitar, and it was just a three-piece. And then finally they were like, hey, do you guys want to join the band? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll let you know. And then they finally got rid of the bass player and the guitar player because he's moving to a different state, and it got weird. It got complicated, like band drama.
Yeah. And then you guys counted to 3 Mississippi and Pete shows up, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Out of nowhere.
totally out of nowhere.
Well,
So
actually, you
that's
say
me, I'm Pete.
Pete's name 3 times.
Yeah,
So
you say
Pete-
Pete 3 times, and I
Not into a mirror though, right?
no, into like an amp or any kind of
Okay.
microphone, and I will show up with any instrument in hand, whatever you need. But yeah, so my origin story with this band is I kind of just like looked around and realized that every single one of my best friends has played in this band. And you know when like all your friends are going to the same restaurant and you're just like, you know what? I should probably check out that restaurant. And honestly, the food's pretty good, so like I'm not upset.
I like that. That's a good metaphor. Yeah, the food tastes delicious from where I'm sitting. So, and
He's also kind of played the role of coach, you know, because we now have whiteboards up in our practice space.
we
He, you know, gives us direction. He watched us at our first 3-piece show. He came and watched us absolutely bomb and just play horribly.
Yeah.
Positivity.
And from that moment on, he donned his coach hat.
Put on my visor.
Yeah, he got the visor, and he was like, "I'm gonna whip you guys into shape."
I love that.
Yeah, and
That's
then here
amazing.
we are.
Everyone needs that, and I think it's refreshing to see that like the newest member can just come in and be so impactful. It feels like you guys are kind of all pretty chill about that, and that's incredible. I think that shows maturity. It shows we just want to succeed. We have a drive to always improve, and from when I first heard you guys till now, it's only gotten better. So I think that's kind of where I'm pulling that from.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Thanks.
yeah, for sure. So, guys, we only have a few minutes left on this interview. Please stick around, everyone. Not only do we have a ton more music for you this evening here on our band show, but we have a second interview coming up, and we have a lot that we're going to talk about, right? I want to talk about what you guys did to survive after we lost, as we said, our beloved Poughkeepsie music scene. You know, what did you guys do? How did you persevere, make it through that? I know that you guys opened up for Red Jumpsuit Apparatus one time, and I definitely want to dissect that night and sort of pick that apart. Because, I mean, you know, they're just an absolutely incredible band, and I feel like a lot of the audience members here would love to hear that story. And on top of that, we'll be introducing my co-producer, Pat, to the stream. So we have a lot coming for you guys. Do not go anywhere. And while you're here, it would cost you nothing and absolutely mean the world to us if you could please share this video with a friend, like, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and just stick around. Drop a dinosaur in the chat to show the band some love.
Dinosaurs in the
Got
chat.
dinos in the chat.
Dinos in the chat. And gentlemen, before we jump into your first set of the night, tell them where they can find you. Keep up to date with all things Sound of a Smirk.
Sound of a Smirk is easily look upable on all social media at Sound of a Smirk on Twitter and X, on Instagram, on Threads, all that jazz. Soundofasmirk.com. You can catch all the shows that we play, we post on there, all the music we release, everything of that sort. So we're easily found on
Cool.
all your streaming services as well.
And speaking of emo, you'll be able to catch them next Friday night at an emo night. We'll give you more information about that coming up in just a few minutes. But just like Pete joined in 3 Mississippi, I think we all got to count 3 Mississippi and just get into some tunes here on this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the first set of the night live here on our band show with Sound of a Smirk. Take it away, gentlemen.
Cool. Oh, Jesse, is this a good time for me to like give you a riddle? Like, do you think you can solve a riddle really
Dude,
quickly?
I love riddles.
Perfect. I've got a great riddle for you. So, Jesse, 3 men walk into a bar, right? Their names are Jacob, I, and Benji. The 3 were out celebrating Benji's recent divorce from his cheating ex-wife. Jacob, a serial dater with no one to call his own, is excited to play wingman to his newly single friend. The trio approach a small group of age-appropriate women and get to chatting. They discuss the weather, pets, their favorite things to do in and around the city. Rebecca, a horse veterinarian from the nearby suburbs, mentions her favorite spot to hike with her sister. I exclaims that he and his husband were there last year and loved it, and the conversation carries on from there. Jacob suggests the entire group go to a nearby speakeasy, and they all agree. All of the single members leave the bar together. Who stayed behind?
I do know the answer to this. I believe.
I was alone. I was fine with that. I would go home with no spine for it. I was nothing short of miserable. So I found my happiness sad that it would end. Come out, wherever you are. Come out, there's no hiding anymore. I was so afraid of losing what I made. Maybe a friend, maybe a lover, just someone to bring home. That night, any night, it was good enough for me. I was fucked up, I was caring about all the wrong things I had in my head. Come out, wherever you are, they said. Come out, there's no hiding anymore from me. Come out, wherever you are, they said. Come out, there's no hiding anymore from me. I could feel you tangling, I could see you tangling off my loose lips, off my fingertips. I could feel you beckoning, I could see my reckoning. Yeah, you were no good, I was no good for me. Come out, wherever you are, they say. Come out, there's no hiding anymore from me. Hide and seek is no fun. When everything became a dark stage, I was fucked up again on alcohol and bad friends. I was fucked up again for no good goddamn reason.
Cool.
This song is called DaVinci.
So, tell me on the floors and tell me what is wrong. I feel the same way you're compared to the others before today. I hope it hires out now. Living through a haze, while I sit with my head on earth, and we're smiling through these days. So I'm a little mixed up on needing this that I can't put to sleep. You've been planted. Oh, you're too goddamn heavy set. I hope you're high as hell now. Living through a haze, while I sit with my head on earth, and we're smiling through these days. You're my hand-drawn blueprint for my better half. I saw a sketch from God's own hand. Trust me when I say that I've never felt this way. Trust me when I say that this will never change. I hope you're high as hell now. Living through a haze,
Thanks, guys. We're going to play a song called Odaxelagnia next. I'll be sitting on these rails while I wait, floating on a riverbed I couldn't care for. And then I see you in any snowflake. I just like these waiting games I learned to live for. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please stay. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please stay. When you see outside with a plan of view, brick standing outside of your snow globe too. When you see this glass reminding you of my heart and how we can remedy this feeling of being apart. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please stay. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please stay. Yeah, you see through me, and scared as I am, let you in. I'll let you in. You were the heat inside my chest when I was only filled with sand. Filled with sand. We are the answers to the questions we never really seem to ask. Seem to ask. You are the glass love that we have. Molded by hands, molded by hands. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please stay. Didn't expect you to shake away the things that hurt. Please
Throw those dinos in the chat, please.
If you also love Dino Nugs like we do.
Dinos in the chat.
Yes, please drop all of those dinosaur emojis in the chat if you guys would like to support the incredibly talented Sound of a Smirk right here on our band show. Gentlemen, that was killer, and we're not even halfway through the night yet. I am just so excited. We have an amazing evening planned for you here on our band show, and let's make it even better. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to the show tonight for the first time my co-producer and good friend, Patrick W. Huber.
Hi, Pat.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna cut immediately to my shot, but Jesse was definitely giving me some props visually, so I had to cut to him instead. But good evening, welcome, Sound of a Smirk. This is an amazing, enjoyable time that we're having. My ears are already starting to bleed from how great and loud this music is. So yeah, I don't know. I'm having a great time. What about you, Christian?
I'm loving every second of it, man. Like I said earlier, you know, I've heard these guys' music for quite some time, and it's a pleasure to enjoy it in such a very intimate, but also just like full circle kind of way. You know, it's cool to finally have these guys on the show. This is one of the bands that I wrote down, Pat, in my list that we made last May, June, July, when we were initially planning this show. Like, got to get these guys on. And it's cool to see it come full circle. So, yeah, I'm having a blast.
That was a piece of toilet paper, right, that we wrote the original year of bands on?
Oh,
it was
God.
just Sound of a Smirk that was written on toilet paper, I heard.
Oh, wait. I was trying to make a Pixar joke, you know, but it backfired on
Was
me.
it 2-ply?
Oh, man. So, Pat, dude, welcome to the stream. How you doing over there?
We're having a great time. Like, there's a lot going on. I have like 3 hands, or at least it feels like it, because there's a lot happening in this switchboard in this room.
We grow hands out here, definitely working on the set of our band show. And we couldn't do it without the many hands who helped make this show possible. So before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to shine a light on the incredibly talented crew who helps us month in and month out here on our band show. I'm talking about Eric Greenup, Tom Paisano. We have Cup Ojo, our newest member, who's absolutely crushing it on the behind the scenes.
Yeah, they could take a bow. I have them on camera right now.
Take a bow.
Of course, Michael Kudo, who was a huge part of helping us get going here earlier today, wasn't able to make it for the live stream, but his contribution does not go unnoted. And everyone, past and present, who's helped this channel become what it has become, which is the ultimate passion project for us. So thank you all so very much. And while we're giving thank yous out, Pat, before we jump into the discussion here, we have a lot of people watching at home, and I think that we would be remiss if we didn't thank them for their viewership. I'm just to name a few. I'm talking about Meg Kusmano, Amy Baresh, Matt Mason, Sophia Di Fabio, and many more dropping dinosaurs and
Drop
showing
those dinos
the
in the
love
chat!
in the chat.
Dinos in the chat.
Thank you for the dino.
Do your dinosaur.
Yeah, so you know, guys, we were talking a little bit, and I'm sure Pat has something he wants to bring up later. But just to pick up where we left off, how did you guys manage to sort of survive? I know we used to have a blessing that I personally don't think I took for granted, but maybe I did a little bit because I just felt like it was such a given that there could be local shows and there was people coming out constantly, and you could write songs that would actually be heard by someone. And then that went away pretty suddenly. Yeah. But you guys managed to survive and make it through that golden era. So talk to me about the perseverance, because it must have taken perseverance.
Yeah, so like selling pictures of our feet. That's pretty much what did it. It's how we survived, man.
The sole contributing factor.
Yeah.
Good God. All right, fair enough. I did not expect that answer, and I'm not quite sure how to get past that one. So I think, I feel like Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Who's been the sole, he was the guy who started it all, and now he's joined by incredible bandmates. But yet again, he had to persevere through sort of a rough moment, at least in our local scene. Because to my knowledge, I don't remember an extended Sound of a Smirk tour. It kind of seems like you guys have always just been plucking away here in the Hudson Valley. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
in 2019, right before the year before COVID, we went on a 10-day tour of strictly, the closest thing was Baltimore and Rochester, I would say. But everything else, we did 9 shows in 10 days, and we toured in 2019. Besides that, it's always been local stuff, weekenders out of state. I mean, the biggest thing was, like, once the local shows started kind of breaking down a little bit, and the Loft, the issues with that, and My Place Pizza shutting down, which is like, shout out to My Place Pizza for existing at
Blessing
one
and
point.
a curse, dude. It was
yeah. Like, we opened for Turnover. The Turnover, like, at My Place Pizza, which is insane to me. We opened for Can't Swim and Movements, and And we got to open for these bands that we loved. Have Mercy, who's on tour right now. And yeah, like the local scene was sick. It was awesome. And a lot of touring bands used to come through. It's not to say that the local scene has died, because there are still amazing bands that you guys have had on here. Like Alliteration is still pushing. And they've been around at
as
least,
long as you guys have, yeah.
At least like half as long, if not double that. Like they have been playing shows for so long, and I remember playing Alliteration's first show, which is wild. And you were in local bands. Like I think the biggest thing was that touring bands stopped because the Loft kind of stopped doing it, and My Place Pizza shut down. And thank God for Reason and Ruckus, who's building it back up. So shout out to Reason and Ruckus. Shout out to the Grange in Bombville, in Newburgh, Bombville Grange. Shout out to the local places that are still booking. Doors at 7 is killing it. Bands like New Vision, bands like No Momentum, they're still pushing. And that's like all that matters about this local scene to me.
Couldn't agree more. That's exactly why we wanted to start the show. I don't really have a project at the moment. Stay tuned that I'm like gigging with in that regard, but of course I still love every second of being a part of this Hudson Valley music scene. So when I was like, hey Pat, do you want to maybe bring back that show we used to do when I was a college student, but maybe do it a little better than we did in the past, because there's still a ton of great local bands despite there not being a central point to play anymore. He was like all on board, and it's pretty cool to see that so many of you guys are still going. And also, it's been great to network with the Ulster County scene. I feel like losing that kind of chance, it's either hardcore or pop punk funnel in a one way was a blessing, because we've met bands like Ramona Lane and Slip Groove and all those guys who are like keeping Woodstock alive in the most like beautiful way, I have to say.
Hell yeah.
But Pat, as a bystander, someone coming at this more from the film side of things, now sort of getting immersed into this local music scene, like we're 11 episodes in here on our band show, and you've been exposed to a lot of great local music, like what has that been like for you so far?
It's been great. Like everybody that we've had on the show has definitely beat expectations. It's like I'm just jamming to all the music, all the different flavors that you all provide. It's just definitely music to my ears to go with that trope. But it's fantastic to see just like how well put together all the bands are. And they're coming on, they're showing their passion, they're playing and performing. I can't really do this, and I appreciate you giving me this gift of just great sounds. And one of the things that I'm definitely a big fan of is kind of like going onto YouTube and looking at the band's like music videos. And you guys are talking about how this started like kind of a solo project and evolved into a band, and that there's been some lineup changes and all this stuff. But from the few videos that I've seen of yours, like there's a lot of creativity. Things are looking good, and the sound is obviously definitely well produced and engineered for those videos. So I'm definitely interested to hear about like the creative process. Do you guys like take on these music videos yourself? Do you have like a consistent creative partner? Is it like a bunch of people that you met over the years? Like, can you kind of detail like your idea of like what music videos are to your music and your band?
First and foremost, huge shout out to John Niclario at Nada. He produces our music since the last record we put out and all the singles since then. That man is like a fifth member of this band. He's awesome. His producing definitely creates that sound that you're talking about. Music video-wise, Nick, you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to Mike Perella. His buddies, they've been such a critical help in getting that creative process started and rolling. Our most recent video for a song called Bleach just came out recently.
Yeah.
And in that, it shows a lot of weird, creative, just fun, slightly stupid,
But that describes us very well.
Yeah.
That describes all of us pretty well.
And it also features us, having a good time in my old Triumph Spitfire classic car. All four of us crammed into that. I thought the shocks were going to explode. And then we drive it off a cliff, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's incredible. No, it's important to, I think, show your personality in the most genuine way possible. And I know Pete hasn't been in the band as long as the rest of you guys, but it just like you guys are all smiles. The photos, I feel like you guys have been gigging together forever with this lineup.
It feels like it, honestly.
Yeah.
It really does. It feels like we've been a band for a long time.
We've known each other. Like all of us have like played in bands together or played shows together where we've just like we've always had a good time together in separate bands.
Yeah.
So when you like put us all together in the same room, we just have a good time, and then like good stuff comes out of it, and that's really all you can hope for.
Yeah, so how do you guys get stuff to come out? Pat asked you about the creative process on the video side of things. I'm curious about the songwriting process. Talk to us about that.
The majority of the songwriting, at the moment at least, it's always been something that I kind of just create bare bones, like usually on an acoustic. It's been more electric recently. Me and Nick usually mess around with that. But it was amazing to bring all four of us in a room for the first time with an idea of something very loose and constructing it into something pretty awesome. We have a song that we are not ready to share at all, but I think creatively it's been incredible to me seeing what Brian and what Pete have brought to this. And I mean, Nick is my backbone, man. Nick is like literally my spine.
I prefer power bottom.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, Jesse's not Nick's. I really can't speak to that. I've seen it, but I can't speak to it. You know, it was like one of the things when I came in was I was like, one of my main focuses was I was like, I really want to write, and I want writing to be more of like an all hands on deck kind of thing. Collaborative. And I think the experiences that we've had doing that in particular have been like really fulfilling, and I think that this next stage is going to be really, really cool to hear for everybody.
Yeah.
What is the next stage? What's on the horizon for Sound of a Smirk?
Well, as Nick pointed out, as the coach of the band, there are 2 whiteboards hanging up in our practice space, and one of them has 4 quadrants of our 4 major projects that we have coming up.
This is true.
Yeah, it is.
4 major projects. That is quite prolific. Can we have a sneak peek into any of those?
Well, you know, 2 of them, like, one of them is, as you mentioned, that emo night that we have coming up. You know, we have a lot of music that we want to play, and a lot of stuff that we really want to nail down to make sure that, you know, we're doing justice by the songs that really influenced us and were part of, you know, our culture in a way for so long, and really helped us through our lives growing up. And, you know, it's a way for us to almost like give back to something that we loved by doing it justice. So that's one of them. Another one is just your typical cover set list, because, you know, you got to pay the bills.
You got to pay the bills.
We do, you know, a lot of these songs are off what we are hoping will be a full-length record in the near future, and that's one of them.
That's about as much
That's
as
as
we
much
can
as
say.
we can
That's
tell
about
you.
as much as I can tell you. And there might be, you know, there's a 4th idea that we're throwing around that I think I know I'm personally very excited for. I don't know how much.
A rework of sorts.
Very cool. I can venture to guess, but I do not want to dare poke holes in the mystery that you guys are building. So I'm just very excited, and I hope you guys, whenever the time is right, I hope that you'll send it to your friends at our band show so we can let all the listeners know about it.
Oh, you
Oh,
bet.
without a doubt.
You bet.
And let them know. Let them know where they can find you. I know you guys have an emo night coming up next Friday. I know you guys are constantly gigging. Where can they find you? Keep up to date with all things Sound of a Smirk.
Like I said, the social media stuff. We definitely do social media. We definitely
Instagram.
post
Instagram's a big one.
Instagram's probably the biggest thing. If you have a Facebook, if you have X, if you have Threads, you can follow us on everything. We are at Sound of a Smirk. If you search Sound of a Smirk, we'll come up. The emo night next Friday, Perla Escondida. We're going to be playing an emo night.
Middletown.
New York.
Middletown, New York. Yes, thank you, Peter.
And we have a
United
couple
States.
other shows in the works that if you keep up to date with us, you will see them. We're not necessarily ready to post. So if you just follow us, if you'd like, follow, and all that fun stuff.
Speaking of fun stuff, the last thing I want to talk about here before we jump into some more amazing and music that will be upcoming on a future full length, probably. You guys are pretty fun. This set has never been, and it's been decorated in the past by bands in a great way. But there is just, the personality is seeping through every frame. So why don't you guys kind of talk to me a little bit about why you chose to bring what you brought and what it means to you guys as a band, as people, you know?
Well, if you would like to look behind me, this entire set is dedicated to that beautiful, beautiful baby girl hanging on my guitar stand. Shout out to Jen. I know you're watching. And besides that, we have a lot of fun little things. Our record is sitting up there. I play Xbox all the time. I've got my Xbox controller that says Sound of a Twerk. I think Pete has some fun stuff.
I do. I brought a ton of stuff, mostly stuff that I just had to pull off my shelf in my office. But so yeah, I brought the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Shout out nerds. Shout out the nerds. I brought this cool duck. I hope it's I hope it's still charged. Hold on. You squish it or slap it and it lights up. It's pretty sick.
I hope you don't slap
Story
it.
of my life.
Oh, if I have to.
Oh, okay.
And then just like this cool little like 8-bit art projector thing that's been going on behind me this whole time is like just mad fun. I love it.
I forgot that I also brought an astromech droid.
Nice. And I really hope that the batteries on that little 8-bit thing don't die, because that would be a big hit for the production. But we're doing it live, and we mean it. No faking it here on our band show. Wow, that's incredible, guys. And that record, real quick, before we jump into more music here, people can pick up merchandise at your shows, I assume, right?
Yeah, we got merch in the back.
Yeah, we got merch in the back. Come check us out after the set.
Merch in the back. Okay, cool.
We've got a site. If you
Shirts
go to
for 15, but if you talk to us, they're 12.
Whoa, are you kidding me? 20. Come on, we're Premiere.
Okay.
We're Premiere. Whoa. but no, we do have vinyl records of the last record we put out. It's a double LP. So if you like the music, we actually half the set list is off of Grow Apart, a record we put out in 2017. 2018 for vinyl, technically.
Wow, technically.
Yeah, so since it's a double LP, Pat, I don't think they'll be able to swing us with the free copy. But maybe we'll just have to pick one up and...
soundofasmirk.com.
There you go. Soundofasmirk.com, guys.
We'll give you the discount code, but we can't say it live.
That's fine. We understand.
It's Jesse's feet.
We have a lot of people watching, guys. So one last time, we want to thank everyone at home who's joined us here this evening for our band show. We are still pumping out music for you here tonight, so do not go anywhere. And in fact, while you're here, please share this video with a friend, subscribe. That's honestly the best thing you can do, because we'll be pumping out Sound of a Smirk content all month long. Every Monday, every Friday, we will be posting a video from this session, maybe even some special behind-the-scenes stuff. You never know. So follow us, subscribe for all of that, and stick around as we invite the gentlemen to take us into another set here this evening on our band show, the 11th episode. We're only getting better. Things are only heating up. Sound of a Smirk. Can you guys do us the honor of playing your second set of the night here?
Gladly.
Happily. Big shout out to our band show. The song is called Amputee. Cut me off, I have no legs. Paraplegic till I tried. I fell and bled and died. Cut me down, I bleed and beg. Crawling away to hide. Crawl away and die. Be my crutches, let me swing. Be my wheelchair, keep rolling. On and on and on. Be my leg brace. Only straight. Be my back drop on your bed. Push me off, I have no spine. Quadriplegic till I tried. You went straight for my mind. Push me down, nothing
wheelchair keep rolling on and on and on. Be my leg brace, hold me straight. Be my bear trap, I'm yours, babe. Dinos in the chat for Brian. Crutches, let me swing. Be my wheelchair, keep rolling on and on and on. Be my leg brace, hold me straight. Be my bear trap, I'm your babe. Be my bear trap, I'm your babe. Let's slow it down. This next song is called Row. Just give me a chance, an opportunity to change your mind. Let me show you how it be, how we could learn to love in time. I need to get away, find some space from this place. I need to get away. I probably so stacked and laced. Trade is the word that starts a dripping lip full of blood, pounding my head to the wall. I'm fighting myself for what should be done. I need to get away, find some space from this place. I need to get away. I have all this old stacked and laced. I'm torn between love and hate. For you to rip out what I gave, I collapse in my own head. I'll help you bury this. Then I need to get away, find some space from this place. I need to get away. I have all this old stacked and laced. This next song is going to be called Placebo. Thank you for sticking in, guys. Big shout out to who's viewing. Dinos in the chat.
Send me your coupons for Dino Nuggets because times are tough and I I just want Dino Nuggets.
Nobody buys his feet anymore. Crush me down, just a pill you can swallow. Mix me with your favorite drink. Crush me up, I am just hollow. Stir me in and watch me sing. I tried to be your cure, take away your disease. I infected myself, trying to pull a vaccine. Knock me through, just a pain you can follow. See the transparent heart in me. Shatter me too, I'm just a mirror you can follow. You're exactly what you hate to be. Why do you even bother when all you have are stories of a scared and suffered soul who never had a life alone, no time alone? Oh, cut me in with your favorite drug and roll me in and light me up and lace your heart with an eighth of love. Roll back eyes, can't get enough. No, I can't get enough. Dino's in the chat for Peter. Crush me down, I'm just a pill you can't swallow. Mix me with your favorite drink.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, fantastic, gentlemen.
You guys ever just get sweaty?
No, why?
Yeah, me neither.
Oh,
Never
yeah,
sweat.
dude. Never sweat.
I don't look like I sweat, do I?
Mark, I'm getting sweaty. Guys, drop some dinos in the chat to show the band some love.
Dinos in the chat. Well, that's
Everyone watching at home.
Is there a way to get more water?
No. You should have been prepared.
You know what they say, Jesse? Hydrate or
Or
dihydrate.
Hydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate?
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, this has been an absolute killer evening so far. We are nearing the end, but not so much so that we are yet at the point where we have to say goodbye. And I do want to say hello first to some of the new people hanging out with us in the chat. Last month's band, Slumber, popping by and showing the support, showing the
Heck
love.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Helping to
Thanks,
grow the
Slumber.
community that we're trying to build here. So that means a lot, gentlemen. We miss you. We hope you've been well, and we're glad to see you here. And, speaking of past guests, Pat, we have quite a list of past guests here now, 11 episodes in. And a lot of them are doing some pretty cool and awesome things. And I have a feeling, Pat, that you're just dying to tell people sort of where they can keep up to date with all of the past and amazing performers who have graced us with their presence here on our band show.
Yeah, of course. I love the community calendar segment. Although I haven't figured out a way where I could easily look like I'm staring into the soul of the audience while, saying where everybody's performing. I have to kind of go off to the camera over here and read it off the spreadsheet. But the fact is, every band that we've had on the show, they're out there. They're finding places to play and get in front of an audience. And, if you want to find out basically where to show up and listen to some great music, follow them on socials. Like every single band, including Sound of a Smirk, has a place where you can follow them and keep track of this, and basically show up and, you know, get that merch or support them by just showing up and enjoying the music. So we're going to go back and we're going to look through this list and see who's performing upcoming. You know, let's see. Let's start with Slip Groove. They have a bunch of performances. Definitely check out their website because they have a groovy calendar on that. September 2nd, Tanner's Brothers in Tannersville, New York. They have a performance there. Man, I didn't get the time, so you're definitely going to have to go on the socials for that one. September 7th, 5 o'clock to about 8 p.m. That's going to be in Pine Bush. Let's see, where else are they? September 10th, 1 to 5 in Poughkeepsie, New York. So I don't have the venues on my list exactly, so that's why you got to kind of log on and follow them. I love the dancing that's going on right now. I can see that in the corner of my eyes. I just looked back from the spreadsheet. So now you're on camera. So
Thank you.
yeah, well, thanks for making this segment really fun. You know, it's good to have some dancing. I was asking for some fly boys and girls, a la Living Color from the 90s, and I guess I just got my wish.
Got you. I was going for more of like the dancing lobsters during the credits of the Amanda Show.
Bring in the dancing lobsters.
Oh, well.
That is a staple of my childhood.
Donna's in the chat for dancing lobsters. I hope that's really confusing to somebody.
Well, I guess it's confusing to me. I got Christian. You can send me that meme after the show.
I will. I will. You have things. You have a lot of studying to do, Pat. But
yeah, I guess I do.
Pat, speaking of dancing, and allow me to just do a terrible segue here. I find myself dancing every time I listen to What, and I got to imagine those guys have a show coming up sometime soon.
Yeah, for sure. Further down on my list, What? Hey, listen, Mercury Lounge on Tuesday, August 22nd at 9 p.m. Is when the doors open, and music starts at 9:30. So definitely check out What on August 22nd. They seem to have a couple of dates, actually. Another one on Saturday, August 26th at the Park Theater in Hudson, New York. Doors at 7, music at 8. So yeah, make sure you get there early, get that perfect spot to see a great band. You know, and let's see, August 27th, Summer Hoot Music Festival, the Ashokan Center in Olive Bridge, New York. 1:30 is the music for that, and I guess tickets are available at what.band, it says. So yeah, you're gonna have to jump on their website to go to that event. You know, we have No Momentum on the list, September 23rd at Wet Spot in Brooklyn, New York. Correct me if I'm wrong, Christian, but the 23rd is our next band show, isn't it?
I believe so, Pat.
Oh, man,
and,
we got some competition.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you might have the details on who might be our next guest.
Yeah, we'll hold off on that. I have,
Okay, a little teaser. I like
other,
that. They say that's good content. I just couldn't help myself.
No, it's good. We're going to get to that. The 23rd is our next show, and we definitely have a great guest for that as well. But I would be remiss not to mention the field service. You know, they're at Snug Harbor coming up, so definitely check out their social media to find out exactly when and where. So like I said, everyone's keeping busy, and we want to make sure that you're signing up to their socials and finding out exactly what time you can get to them. Let's see. Yeah, Faison is on my list too. Eric, who's you know, somewhere in this shot that I just put up. Oh, he's actually getting in there. Oh, he jumped in front of the wide shot. Oh, he kind of missed it, but that's okay. You know, basically, Faison has something going on here. Yardie Fest in Highland, September 10th. And then, I missed one. Porch Fest on August 27th. So I'm pretty sure if you jump on the Faison socials, you'll get the exact information for those. So it's been pretty much last September is when Faison joined us here on our band show and really kicked off this process. So it looks like they're back and playing some local gigs, and jump on their socials to get the exact information.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. On the list, I I'm just going to go ahead and jump to last month's Slumber. Although we couldn't find on their social medias exactly where they're performing and can't shout them out, they basically, it looks like we found that Someone I'm Not Used To is like officially released and out there. And, hey, you can watch their performance on our band show to enjoy that song, or jump on Spotify and stream it. So
I will say that was one of my favorite songs to mix as well. So you can go watch the live stream, but you can also watch the individual single video. Really cool band incorporating synth and light guitars and just an amazing bass, and obviously the drumming was incredible. But yeah, Pat, no, sorry, take it away. I just had to say that there while we were on the moment.
Thank you, Christian. It's always good to have a helping hand from your friends. So I think a famous band once said that. I'm going to ask Nick, if I can cut to him, if he can give me a drum roll, because I want to announce the September 23rd at 7 p.m. Band that we're going to have on our band show. And we are inviting Last Vignette onto our show. That's our next band, and we're going to be posting it on our social media. And follow us, and definitely follow them too. They'll definitely be talking about it. But they're our next band on September 23rd. So
say the name one more time for all the folks at home who might have just been taken back by the drum roll.
Beautiful.
Because as I said earlier, Nick is an incredible
we
drummer.
didn't coordinate that perfectly, didn't we?
We're doing it live. But yeah,
okay.
Pat, who is that band?
Last Vignette.
All the way from New York City, guys. We're always honored when we have people outside of the Hudson Valley reach out to us to come up and play. They're an absolutely incredible four-piece, and we can't wait to have them on the show.
Question. Is that the female-fronted band? I thought they were from New Jersey, but maybe New York City as well.
Okay. Our
Right?
email said New York City, but we could get wrong intel. But yes, that is the female-fronted band. Yeah.
They are amazing, and they just put out a record like a month or two ago. They are phenomenal. If you're watching this, watch that.
Yeah, we're very excited. And speaking of things that are phenomenal, Sound of a Smirk, we're not done with you guys just yet. In fact, we're about to roll into a final set of music here this evening. But before we do that, we just want to say thank you. Thank you guys all so very much for supporting us here at our band show. A lot of hard work goes into this, and we do it for the love, but it's always so rewarding when you guys come on the show, drop dinosaurs in the chat, hang out with us, and most importantly, support the amazing bands that take the time to come and hang out with us. So thank you all so very much. We greatly appreciate it. 11 episodes in, coming up on a year. That is crazy to say, but I'm very excited about it. At the same time, we have a lot coming on the horizon, including a final set here from Sound of a Smirk in just a few minutes. So before we part ways, you guys know the deal. If you could subscribe to this channel, it would greatly help us, and that's all we could really ask for. Of course, though, we want you to follow the band, though. That's the most important thing. We'll be fine, but we want you to support these guys. They're playing all over the place, and how are you going to find out where they're playing? How are you going to find out whether it's a cover show or whether they have a new album coming out? You're not going to do that unless you follow them and subscribe to their platform. So, guys, one last time, please tell them where they can find you and keep up to date with all things Sound of a Smirk.
If you search Sound of a Smirk on just about any social media, you'll be the first one to come up. We're also available on all the streaming services. So if you want to listen to us in the car, at home, anywhere, at the gym, if you fancy you listen to us at the gym.
Yes.
That's really all we got. We got all the social medias.
Blow
Website.
up our TikTok, please. I want to be famous. I want kids to know my name.
Yes. we want them to do the TikTok dance that Pete was doing before.
Yeah, just all the cool dance moves. I don't know them because I'm old and my hip would break.
Pick up a record at a show, grab a T-shirt, and support the guys.
Again, we got merch in the back. Come check us out after the show.
We got merch in the back of Brian's car.
With that said, everyone, thank you all so much, but don't go anywhere. We like to end this show here on our band show with a bang, and I just know you guys are going to like these next few songs that we have for you. So for the final time this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Christian Evanko, and it is my honor to present to you for the final set of the night, Sound of a Smirk. Gentlemen, please take it away.
Big shout out to our band show. This one's called Why Not Astronaut. So you buried yourself where I found my own brain. You were the death
inside my head. You were the pain inside my stomach. You were everything I wanted. Keep me safe. Keep me afraid. 'Cause there's only so much that a man my size can do. I am in space, I am floating, I'm without you. So you wanted your breath back again. I've been holding on to your oxygen. Hold your atmosphere. Won't you hold it near? Hold that atmosphere. I'm coming clear. Call me the astronaut. I will be everywhere, never seen on the dark side of your moon. I hope you hear my breath on the way down through the atmosphere. Oh, what did you see? What did you want? I become exactly the opposite. Oh, what did you see when you looked inside of your reflection? Oh, you're happy I'm long gone. There's no reason to shed a tear. I am in space, I am floating, I am your fear. So you wanted your breath back again. I've been holding on to my oxygen. Hold your atmosphere. Hold it near. Hold your atmosphere. Won't you come in clear? I hope I hear. I feel you. I feel you breaking through my stereo. The silence couldn't be harder against my skull. The piercing noise, white noise you have shuffling from your mouth. I am in space, I am floating, I am without. astronaut. I am made of stone. Call me the astronaut. I am alone. Oh, I am the astronaut. I am made of stone. I am the astronaut. I am alone. I am the astronaut. I am stone. Oh, I am the astronaut.
Thank you. That was called Why Not Astronaut. I think we're gonna do one more for you guys.
I'm going to do one more song. I'm going to tune real quick, make sure it sounds the best it possibly can for you. This song is called State Speed Limit. It is off that record that Why Not Astronaut is also off of, called Grow Apart. So if you like our music, you can stream it, you can buy it, you can listen to it on vinyl, whatever you'd like. But seriously, huge, huge, huge thank you to you watching. It means a whole ton to all of us. And thank you for tuning into our band show, and thank you for our band show doing this. It's pretty killer. Pretty killer. When I beat the crap out of my guitar like that, it gets me very worried. Very worried. Deal with. No, I'm really sorry. The song's called State Speed Limit. If you know this one, sing along. You were driving me crazy in all the best ways. My heart pumped octane, fill my throat with gasoline, burn my body to nothing. Flashing lights and hazy dreams. I need to stop now. I need to scream. I can't get enough of you. I won't let go. I won't let go. You were shifting my head swiftly. On the substance sonically. Fill my bones with all your blood. Won't you burn my body till I can't get up? I can't get up! Flashing lights and hazy dreams. I need to stop now. I need to scream. And I can't get enough of you. I won't let go. I won't let go. Won't you calm me down and cool me off? My lungs are burned with this gasping cough. I need your hands, I need your tongue,
Oh, cut me down and cool me off. Yeah, I need your hands, and I need your tongue. Oh, cut me down and cool me off. Yeah, flashing lights and hazy dreams. I need to stop now. I need to scream. I can't get enough of you. I won't let go. I won't let throw. Oh, I won't let go. I won't let throw. Wow, 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 wow. Ooh, I won't let go. I won't let go.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Dino's in the chat.